Well, our special guest today has been with us on a variety of interviews here on the Enid Television Network and also on Good Morning Enid, the Director of Engineering, Chris Gdanski. Chris, good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the chance to come back.
Thanks for joining us at the round table. Chris recently was featured in a magazine, a national magazine, national publication. It was called Municipal Water Leader, and it had to deal with Call Lake and just really water topics. So congratulations on being featured in that magazine because it is a national publication. But you're here this morning to talk about orange cones, constructions, delays, detours, and stuff like that. So we want to kind of get an update from you on what's going on. And Jomara's got this whole list of streets. Say, what's up with this?
Absolutely.
Right,
Let's
right.
talk about that.
Well, good morning, Chris. Thank you for
you.
joining us. And let's talk about street closings. How about Cleveland and Chestnut intersection? We know that that opened this week, but can you tell us what's going to take place in the near future?
Well, obviously, we had to close that intersection to move some water lines out from under the intersection before we do our construction to rebuild it and enlarge it. We did finally get Chestnut leg of that open. It opened Monday. We expect the traffic lights to be back up and running this week, barring any real problems. So then it'll be open until later on this fall.
Great, great. And for people that may not be familiar, the water line utility work was done for what particular project that's coming up? I mean,
well, you know, when they originally put the streets down, they
Yeah.
ran the utilities in the street. And what we find is that it's really frustrating to put in a brand new intersection and have to come back and cut it up to repair a water leak.
Yeah.
So as we rebuild these streets, we move the utilities out from under them.
Let's talk about another east-west avenue that's rather important in our community, Willow Road. Okay, we're going to finally go from the wagon train size to 4-lane size and stuff like that. Give us an update. Everybody knows that there's a portion closed up to the railroad tracks, and just give us an update on that.
We're still in phase 1 of that, and that's broken up into 4 phases for construction. Understand that the contractor who's doing that work, who's one of our local companies, is working all along that stretch of road to do some of the drainage work and the dirt work, but specifically the construction of the road surface there just west of Cleveland is closed. It will open at some point in the future, and then they'll move to the next stage. What we really want the people to understand is until we are complete, we want them to treat this as local traffic only.
Okay, and going all the way to Oakwood, correct? Are we thinking a November, December type of completion?
It'll be in that time frame.
Okay. Very good.
Weather this spring will have a lot to do with it.
Sure, sure.
right. As Steve mentioned, we are busy all around town. You can see cones and construction happening. But there's a new project that's coming along, and it's the 66th Street Industrial Access Improvement Project. What's the latest on that one?
Yes, that was a really large effort for the engineering department. We did that design of that. ODOT has agreed to participate in what they call their industrial access program. We'll reconstruct that road all the way from 412 to Willow Road to allow for a lot heavier trucks and a lot more traffic. Once we get done with it, it'll be a nice road.
Let's back up a little bit, Chris. What prompted all of this attention to 66th Street? Because when people drive by and they look over to the north, they go, those look like blades or something.
Well,
so there's something that prompted all of this work.
Exactly. There's a company in town called TPL, Transload Industries, and they handle the logistics for all the wind turbine components that come into this area that are going up and for construction. So what you see is you see all the long blades up there, you see the tower components, and then you see the generator heads, which really, when you look at them, they look just like big white boxes. And all that gets stacked on top of each other. They hook the blades up, and we get wind power.
So this prompted all that work because
Yes.
the road that was in place is not wide enough, heavy enough, strong enough to handle all the truck traffic.
Correct. It's an original Oklahoma County road, and when you run heavy trucks on it, you'll break it up, and this will really improve that particular segment of the road.
On Tuesday night at the City Commission, or I should say at the study session, Garver was in town to do a really kind of a phase 2 update on Call Lake. I talked to different people in the community. They're kind of anxious to see dirt move. They want to see a pipe on farmland or something like that, knowing that there's progress on Call Lake. It's amazing how much pre-work, if I can even use that phrase, before even the first tilt of dirt takes place. Can you kind of give us an update where we're at in this Call Lake project?
Well, we're currently in phase 2 of the project. We're taking the concept design from 10% to 30%, which is essential for ensuring we know what probable cost of construction is. We'll also work on our permits and our environmental assessments for the pipeline and the intake structure and the water treatment plant. That will take us a year to do that, and then there'll be another year of design work taking that 30% all the way to 100 and actually getting permits issued. So I know it seems like we talked about it a long time ago and everybody said, yes, let's do this. And unfortunately, it takes a long time to get through all the design process, get all the permitting done for construction, and all the permitting done for the environmentals, threatened and endangered, and historically significant sites. We have to check on those as well.
And I wasn't aware in the study session, I wasn't aware that the individual making the presentation said that there's power lines that kind of run diagonally across the area we're looking at. Will that be a consideration for the pipeline to follow that same easement, if that's the right term? Because we're just trying to figure out how we're going to run pipeline from Ponca City to our backyard here in Enid, Oklahoma.
Well, we're not going to do it with garden hoses, I can assure you.
Long
But
journey.
yes, there is a high power transmission line going from across that area, and our intent is to parallel that to make it just a little bit easier for us to go through there.
This is not a question that's on our list, but the two of you are in engineering. What can you both say about upcoming projects? I know these projects just consume so much of your time in planning, meetings, forward thinking and stuff. But as you look down the road, what are you two guys working on? Or excuse me, two.
Well, let me say that everybody who drives through the south side of town, they know that the Root Bridge is under construction, and that should be completed by July. And it will be, once again, we'll get the transitions working and the deck replaced, and we'll be really glad to have that done.
Yeah. Well, we've kept pretty busy throughout the year. The Cherokee Bridge is also open, and that's north of St. Mary's Hospital. That was a big project that we had, reconstructed the bridge and the street on that area.
Cool.
Yeah, we have trail projects happening and water projects, so we keep busy.
We stay busy.
Yeah.
You could probably have twice the size of staff and still be behind or something. So.
Keeping the plate spinning is generally the challenge.
Well, Chris Gdanski, Director of Engineering, City of Enid, is our special guest at the round table. Chris, thanks for joining us today. And I know that we have plans in the next few weeks to do kind of a Call Lake update, phase 2 interview with Garver, our consultant. So I look forward to seeing you then, and we'll give everybody more of a detailed update on the Call Lake Pipeline project.
We look forward to it as well.
Well, thanks for being with us.
You bet.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.